You know Yemen, you've seen what Yemen have been doing, haven't you? They've been seizing any of the Israeli ships that pass through their part of the river.
No, bro, I know, but I'm here now. I was raised here.
Yeah.
Where do I go? He said, right, what happened on that attack there was worse than what they show on the news. And this is from someone on land.
Even if a cockroach crosses from the Palestinian side, it'll be blown to pieces. In that same regard, there was nobody there. Why? Because just off the shore of Palestine, they've found 1 trillion or so cubic feet worth of natural gas.
Take it back. Let's make the borders. Take your government. Now they're fearing if these guys start growing, if they cause you so much problems for us now.
Main goal was to sow discord among the Arabs and turn them against the Ottomans, to which he did successfully.
Kids that were born there and got a fucking clue.
Just like the Jews
Yeah.
back in World War II,
Yeah.
they hadn't done anything wrong,
But
and that's what ultimately led to
the collapse of the Ottoman
Empire. And then when the White House was approached for comment, what did they say?
I think
I know why
right.
Putin
They
did what he
should've
did.
just
So
left
do I.
Ukraine alone.
So do I. Yeah, I agree with you on that.
With the carrot, come and join NATO.
Yeah.
This guarantee Israel peace and no more attacks.
Well, look, do you know the Prime Minister, Rishi Sunak?
Yeah.
You know his father-in-law?
Asian kid.
Yes. What company does he own? Do you know? What for? Do you remember that gas and oil I was talking about before?
Yeah.
Or that? He's actually started sketching and using AI to sort of redesign and redevelop Gaza. When we've dealt with all of these Palestinians, this is what it's going to look like. Take the opportunity you've got now to invest.
And we're live. I'm here with Ife. I've had thank you for coming, brother. First of all.
No problem. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming. Like I said, I didn't want to do podcast on this specific subject.
Yeah.
Simply because I'm neutral with it, and I'm not really that knowledgeable about the history and a lot of it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just I don't really follow it because I mean not just this specifically. All in the last 20 years when I was young, I kept seeing. So I could keep track of every reason why this war's been happening and stuff. But now, because this has just been touching a lot of people's hearts, and a lot of people been telling me, "Oh, why don't you need to pick a side, or if you don't pick a side, you stand with the oppressor and all this stuff." And like I said, I thought let's make an educational podcast so I can learn a bit of someone that's done a lot more research than me.
Yeah.
And then the viewers can learn from the facts that you've been gathering and what you've known or what you've been told by your elders and stuff about the situation. So like I said, it's a pleasure to have you on.
Thank you.
And I think, like I said, enlighten me with what's going on in here, because like I said, I don't want to, all I'm going to do is just listen and learn. Like I said, I'm not that clued up in it. Sometimes I'm neutral because I don't like to follow crowds as well. And obviously, I stand for peace. I always stand for peace. I even spoke about it with one of my other guests. You have to be a psychopath to not stand for peace and not want peace and stop innocent people dying.
I think it's wanting peace. Yes, that's fine. But at what cost?
That's what I mean.
So what are your conditions for peace?
That's exactly the next.
Because
what's your thought? First of all, I've got a list of questions.
Go on.
The condition is on one of my questions. What's your thoughts on this? Explain to me what's going on so I can understand it from your points of view.
Right. So let's go back to the First World War.
Yeah.
That's where all of this started. So there was a man called Theodore Herzl. You heard of him?
No.
Theodore Herzl is the founder of Zionism.
Right, yeah.
Zionism is the belief that Israel has the right to a state. Yeah?
Yeah.
Now, initially, he went to, back then it was the Ottoman Empire.
Right.
The Ottomans controlled Palestine as it was then.
Mm-hmm.
He went to the Sultan of the Ottoman Empire
Mm-hmm.
and asked for a bit of land
Mm-hmm.
in Palestine. Didn't say they wanted to make a state or anything or nothing like that.
Mhm.
But even back in them days, the flag with the Jordan River
Mm-hmm.
and the sea with the Star of David in the middle,
Mm-hmm.
they'd already made that flag. So this idea was well underway.
Right.
So they asked him for the land.
Mm-hmm.
They said they'll pay him.
Mm-hmm.
They were offering a lot of money for a
Mhm.
bit of land.
Mm-hmm.
And his response was, you can bring me all the gold in the world.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't even give you a single blade of grass.
Yeah.
Just because of the significance that that land
Had
has.
to them people.
Yes.
Right.
So, fast forward now to the Second World War.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, we all know what happened with Hitler and the Jews.
Yeah,
and
yeah, that's
So then, after obviously the Allies defeated the Nazis,
mm-hmm.
what then happened was the Balfour Declaration was signed.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what that is?
I know about the Balfour Declaration, but can you explain to the viewers about
So the Balfour Declaration was essentially a document that was given by Balfour to Rothschild.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
The document was to Lord Rothschild. It was signed by Balfour.
Mm-hmm.
And basically this document said that the land of Palestine
Mm-hmm.
was for the Jewish people.
Right.
Yeah, that's what this document said.
Mm-hmm.
Now, that's fine. Initially, they were living side by side. Then slowly, as when they went there, they were welcomed with open arms and everything. And obviously, they were living there.
The Balfour Declaration, was it to give them a certain amount of land?
Yes, yes.
Or yeah, certain
So
amount
give them a
of land.
certain
Not all-
amount of
not
land.
all-
No,
not
not all of it.
Right.
So they got the certain amount of land. They were both coexisting, living happily side
Yeah.
by side, as everyone does.
Three major religions lived
Yeah,
in there
yeah,
for years.
that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, everyone was free to practice whatever
Yeah.
religion they wanted, do whatever they
Mhm.
wanted. It was just they were doing what they wanted, they were doing what
Yeah,
they
yeah,
wanted,
yeah.
and yeah, that was it. Then slowly over time, there's been they've been taking a little bit, taking a little bit, taking a little bit. This has been going on since that Balfour Declaration around about 1948.
So taking the piss, technically. It started like really expanding and taking...
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
So, obviously, if we fast forward to what's, shall we say, current affairs,
Yeah.
which is obviously they say it started on October the 7th because, in my opinion, people are stupid and they don't understand that you can't,
Ignorant, I call.
yeah, you can't start a series from the middle and say you're watching it. You get what I mean?
Yeah.
If
Mhm.
you start watching EastEnders today,
Mhm.
you're not going to know what's going on.
That's
get what I mean?
Yeah. That
So
makes sense.
all these people that are jumping on a bandwagon
Mhm.
because it's in the mainstream media now,
Mhm.
they need to know what's actually gone on, and then they can obviously
Yeah, take sides.
draw their own conclusion.
That's why I've
from
not jumped
that.
on a bandwagon with supporting anyone. To be fair, I didn't look into it properly. I don't know in details what's going on. So my first instinct as a human being and as a Christian, and I used to, when you see things like this, I can't just sit at home and eat Doritos and watch children being killed and whatever. My instinct as a human being is just to advocate for peace and ceasefire and diplomatic solutions. But obviously, it sounds like there's not easy to get diplomatic solutions in a situation
Let
like
me
this.
just touch on what you just said.
Yeah.
Diplomatic solutions.
Yeah.
So given the backstory that I told you,
Yeah.
the Palestinians at this present moment
Mm.
are happy to negotiate a two-state solution.
Mm.
In 1969, so after some of this land was already taken,
Mhm.
new borders were built.
Right.
So they decided on new borders. So Initially, it was this is ours, this is yours. Then it was this is ours and this is yours.
Right.
The Palestinians were still happy with that.
Right.
So they're happy on a two-state solution with them borders from 1969.
Right.
The Israelis are the ones that are opposing it.
Right.
All that the Palestinians want is access to their own airports, which they don't have at the moment. There's no airport.
So you have to fly to
Tel Aviv in
Tel Aviv
Israel.
and then
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Or you can go by land through Egypt, the Rafah crossing, which again is the actual border itself is controlled by Israel.
Right.
So there's no, at this moment, Palestine isn't anything remotely resembling a country at this point.
Right.
They don't have an airport, they don't have a military, they don't have anything.
Infrastructure.
They don't have nothing.
Right.
They did, the bit of infrastructure they did have has all been blown to pieces. Now, just in, how long has it been? About 5-6 weeks?
Right.
70 journalists have been killed by the IDF.
Journalists from which countries?
Every country.
From every country.
Yes.
They just kill them because they don't want the
Yes.
streets to get out.
Yes.
Right.
Now, another thing that you'll notice if you watch the mainstream media, when they're talking about the Israeli civilians, they're known as children and babies. When they're talking about the Palestinian civilians, they're known as teenagers. How old are these kids? All the way from a few months up to 7, 8, 9. Do you know what the average age in Gaza is?
Go on. 16, 17. That's why I have
Try 6, 7.
6, 7. That's the average age.
They have got, their population is near enough 70, 80% children.
Right.
Like, you know how, obviously, you know how society works.
Yeah.
You have your grown-ups who have kids, and then obviously that's how humanity works.
Yeah. I understand.
There, 80% of the population is kids. Now, that doesn't happen by itself.
Right.
If at the end of the day, no one's stronger than time. So obviously, there must be something going on that this population is only, the vast majority of it is only 8 or 9 years old, the kids.
Yeah.
So now, obviously, October the 7th,
Yeah.
what happened then? First of all, what they did was wrong. They kidnapped, killed, whatever they did.
Yeah.
Yeah?
The attack that happened on Israel.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So now this attack that happened on Israel
happened
on the most secure border in the world, where Netanyahu himself has been quoted, you can research this if you want, saying even if a cockroach crosses from the Palestinian side, it'll be blown to pieces.
Yeah, he's a borderline. It should be
Exactly.
surveyed.
Furthermore, in that same regard, there was nobody there from the IDF.
Yeah.
Now why?
Well,
Did
what
they-
about the border
Nobody.
patrol?
Nobody.
Yeah.
What happened? Did they just decide to take a day off?
On that day.
Yeah.
Well, when the party was near the wall.
Surely if you were having a party there, you'd have increased security.
Increase. Yeah,
You
that's what I think. Yeah.
You wouldn't
I
have,
wouldn't go near
you
there.
wouldn't have less security.
Yeah, that's common
Even
sense,
worse, you wouldn't have nothing at all.
Yeah.
Then, when they found out what had happened and then they did come, they were attacking their own people.
Is that a fact?
That is a fact. If you want, I can send you videos that clearly show, even BBC News said it, where the Israeli choppers come, there's a crowd of people, starts firing missiles straight into this crowd of people.
Well, how does that make sense? Are they not trained? or they do it on purpose? What was that?
This is it.
Yeah.
This is, to be honest with you, where we're at with it at the moment. Obviously, we've had this 4-day pause and everything, and they exchanged hostages and all of that.
Mm-hmm.
Their ultimate goal is to just
Be free.
who's
Palestine.
Palestine's
Yeah,
goal,
the
yes,
ultimate
is
goal
to be free.
Yeah.
Israel's goal is to exterminate the Palestinians.
Right, but now the whole world's watching. I don't think that'll be that easy to do.
Okay.
Now.
So the whole
let's talk about what would be
just
the
1 second,
solutions.
just 1 second. The whole world's watching, yeah?
Yeah,
Who's done anything?
but they're
Has
gonna have to do now.
Has anybody done anything? Which major nation or anything have you seen come out and not even take action but condemn what they're doing? The only country that's taken any action in any form is Yemen.
Right, so
They've
what would be the
seized-
solution now?
They've seized
That's
9
my next
of their
the
ships.
solution. Let's say they come to agreement. They take Gaza, take West Bank, whatever the borders they were on the original agreement. How could they be guaranteed that there'll be no more attacks? They can live in peace. The other ones can
Well,
live in
that's
peace.
it. I told you how.
Because
What-
I think
What
I
you
think
need to do
Yeah,
is Palestine needs to have its own airport,
yeah.
its own infrastructure, its own army,
Mm-hmm.
a proper elected government,
Mm-hmm.
and then if obviously they want, well, if the Israelis agree to a 2-state solution, which at this present moment they don't want to,
Right.
and do you want to know the reason why?
Why?
Because just off the shore of Palestine,
Mm-hmm.
they've found some like a trillion or so cubic feet worth of natural gas.
Is that a fact again? I need to
That's a fact.
check.
That's a fact.
Natural gas.
You can check. Just Google natural gas and crude oil in Gaza, and it'll tell you.
Also, that's only in Gaza.
So it's off the shore of Gaza.
Off the shore of Gaza.
So the water that's off the shore of
Yeah.
Gaza, this is where they found vast reserves of oil and gas.
Yeah. So do you think that's what triggered all this right now? That they want them to
Yes.
push to
Yes.
take that bit off?
Furthermore,
Mm.
I'll even tell you how this country is involved in it.
The thing is, bro, I know it's all like a show and it's a game to this higher people. Do you know what I mean? I know
Yeah.
this. I've been aware of this game since I was a kid.
Yeah.
Because he always is. If you repeat a lie often enough, it becomes politics.
Yeah.
Like I said, that's why I didn't want to get into it, but now it's becoming a humanitarian crisis again. Like, because I've growing up, I keep seeing these things happen, and no one now because we got to a point where people become more aware to just watch on TV and let it slide. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? We've been sat at home and shown other people being killed for years now, and then people started to become aware of what's going on, and
Yeah.
they can't really let it go on forever now, because then there'll be another country. That's why people are protesting, and they're not protesting to take sides. They say, right, we can't watch on TV anymore some city somewhere in east getting blown off, and then we're always, it's bad this. Joe, because that's what we've been doing for years. So
Yeah.
that's why people are starting protesting now. Do you know what I mean? There's no race involved now. There's no, everyone wants peace because everyone feels sorry for the. So and then if you protest, you get these other people saying, well, if you protest for the peace, you're a terrorist sympathizer. Do you know what I mean? And again,
You can't call resistance terrorism. Let me just. put
I
that
know
out there.
this. I know this,
No,
and
but-
I support the children and I support peace. I mean, I'm not educated enough to jump on a bagwagon like you just said earlier. A lot of people jump on bagwagons, but they don't even know the history.
No, but
I don't know
this is
enough to
This is the thing that
Do you know what I mean?
people
That's why
need
I'm
to
having you on
understand.
to make an educational
can't-
podcast.
I know the mainstream media might be calling it terrorism,
Mm-hmm.
but like me and you were talking off air, and I said to you about your own house.
Mm-hmm.
So now, if the viewers think about somebody coming and taking their house over,
Mm-hmm.
if you then attack the person that's taken your house over, does that make you a terrorist? Not in my view, it doesn't.
I don't know. I don't understand exactly how what makes a terrorist in their eyes. I don't. Do you know what I mean? So I cannot.
You've got a laptop in front of you. Google the dictionary definition of
Well, I know the definition of I don't even need to Google it.
No,
I know the
but
definition. It's because they're not like a set up army, and it's just a group of people that attack with whatever they've got.
that's
They're
why
called
they're known
terrorists.
as terrorists.
That's
But one man's terrorist is another man's freedom fighter. If you're an
That's-
Israeli
yeah.
or you're the mainstream media, you'll say terrorist.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're a Palestinian, you're going to think the whole world's silent.
Yeah.
These lot are doing something to try and make our situation better. Do you get
Yeah.
where I'm coming from?
Yeah, but the world, the political world's a bit silent.
The political world
people-
is completely silent.
Yeah, but the people are not. People are standing.
okay, that's
with-
they are.
I mean-
You're right, but ultimately, in the world we live in today, me and you can go stand outside and shout "Free Palestine." It's not going to change the bombs that are being
But
dropped on them there.
he helped because of the protest that's been happening all over the
Yes,
world.
there was a 4-day pause.
It pushed for that.
Now, do you know what that
it
4
does
day?
make a difference.
Do you know what that 4-day pause gave them?
What?
It gave them time to go and find all the dead bodies, fish them out from under the rubble.
Yeah.
It gave them time to do that. Now, you can check this now if you want. Do you have Snapchat?
No, I don't use Snapchat.
Right. What I'd recommend to the viewers to do, just so you can have your own completely natural view of everything, go on your Snap Maps, go to this area in Palestine and Gaza, zoom in, click on Tel Aviv, watch the snaps that have been uploaded there, then go to Gaza, click on that one and watch the snaps that have been uploaded there. One of them, you're seeing standard life, they're partying, they're chilling, they're having a good time. The other one, you're looking at half a house, the full streets rubble, there's people dead, there's this, there's that. So
They fighting against a full blown army. Do you know what I mean?
And this is it.
They're not equipped to fight against.
This is
it's
it.
Suicide. What they do in another way.
no, it's not.
Because it's like me trying to fight with. Do you know what I mean? They are really strong. The Israelis is meant to have the strongest, one of the strongest armies in the world at the moment with
Well,
the technology and stuff.
It's not that the Israelis have the strongest army. It's that the Israelis are let's say, the devil child of Britain and America.
I think
Just
Ukraine.
yesterday,
I think Ukraine they have involvements as well in the German because
they do. Why? Because everyone's part of NATO.
Yeah.
Just yesterday, Britain sent the newest top-of-the-range spy plane to Israel.
Yeah. Britain.
Yes, the UK, this
Yeah,
country.
Yeah.
Furthermore, touching on this country again,
Uh-huh.
do you know the Prime Minister, Rishi Sunak?
Yeah.
You know his father-in-law? Yes. What company does he own? Do you know?
What company?
Infosys.
Yeah.
Yeah? Now, Infosys
Right.
have just been awarded a contract, and they've awarded that contract to BP.
Yeah.
What for? Do you remember that gas and oil I was talking about before?
Yeah.
For that. Do you know how bad this is? You can go online. There's a Zionist online. I can't remember his name, but I'll tell you after. He's actually started sketching and using AI to sort of redesign and redevelop Gaza. And what he's basically said is, when we've dealt with all of these Palestinians, this is what it's going to look like. Take the opportunity you've got now to invest.
Yeah, I think I've heard about that.
So
I think I've heard about that. I think that
Now-
that was a bit creepy.
I don't know how
That
you
was a
can
bit
sit
creepy,
on the fence and look at it from any angle.
Well, what solution? Let's say from tomorrow, they cease fire, they decide to come agreements. Who did they agree with for Gaza? And for Palestine? Who are the officials they can deal with and agree on something?
Palestine has its own government.
They are their own government, right? So what would be the agreement that they would like to agree? on.
So
What's from the river to the sea? Does that mean from
the Jordan River?
From the Jordan River to the sea, yeah?
Yes.
Yeah.
So the Jordan River all the way to the sea.
So they want that bit, they want that there's...
That was what Palestine was originally.
Originally, yeah.
Yeah? So when we went all the way back...
So where will Israel go?
Israel never existed.
Yeah, but where... Obviously, they
So
got
obviously
their
now...
own, Now they can't just go. It's like sending the Australians back to England.
No, I know. So what the Palestinian authorities come out and said is they'd be happy for a two-state solution with the 1969 borders.
Mm-hmm.
That, along with the Palestinians having access to their own airports, their own seaports, their own infrastructure, their own army, their own military hardware.
Would this guarantee Israel peace and no more attacks?
Well,
if
look,
they do this, because
you look at it this way, yeah. If I attacked you with a rock and you came back at me with an AK-47, yeah, and then you killed everyone that was with me, yeah. But then all of a sudden, I've also got AK-47s now, and so have you.
That's what I mean. If they're gonna get an army and that's what they fearing.
No, the only reason why it is the way it is now is because they're living in an open air prison.
Yeah,
it's like me controlling when you eat, if you drink any water, if you have electric.
You see, yeah, you're right.
If I control your basic human rights, how can I then expect you not to do anything back to me? It's insane.
But now I'm talking, let's say, if the way Israel looks at it, because I've done a bit of research, you can't help not looking into it when it's all over the news feeds everywhere and stuff. So let's say they give them their own state. That's why I've seen, and that's what's confusing me, and that's why sometimes I understand now they're not really it's like going into robbing a bank.
Okay.
You know what I mean? But then you got to finish. This is what it's like with these guys. They're already gone and they're in the middle of a job.
Yeah.
Now they can't just say, right, have yours, but then they cause a lot of trauma to these people. And if he leaves them alone,
right? Who's been
Israel caused a lot of trauma to the Palestinians.
Okay.
And then obviously, put yourself in that situation. If your sister or your mother's been killed or whatever, and all of a sudden, take it back. Let's make the borders, take your government, now they're fearing if these guys start growing, if they cause you so much problems for us now, they're not really equipped.
What are they fighting for now?
Now they're fighting for freedom, but if they might fight for revenge afterwards. That's why they're fearing.
Okay, so they're fighting for freedom now, yeah?
Yeah.
So, do you really think after I've told you the average age in that country is 7-8 years old and 80% of the population's under 16? Do you really, where are they going to get an army from?
Yeah.
It's not going to happen.
We're talking in a few years time when they settled and they
right. Okay. Let me come back to you then. Yeah. So now you're a kid. Yeah. You're 8 years old. You live in Gaza. Your family's all been killed by the Israelis. Yeah. What are you gonna do now? Are you gonna be a normal kid, or are you gonna say, when I'm old enough, I'm gonna join Hamas? That's what you're gonna say, isn't it?
That's exactly what.
Why? Because you want revenge. So
that's what they're worried about now. They go too deep. They cause too much trauma.
Exactly. So now they're just giving firepower to Hamas. This is why this is not going to work.
Yeah, it's not going to work.
You're breeding the next generation of soldiers.
The more they kill, the more they breed in.
Exactly.
The more trauma they create.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, look, I know you've seen the mainstream media. Everyone has.
I don't believe it though. That's why I don't take sides. Yeah, I don't believe none of it.
If you just watch mainstream media, everybody would have the narrative that the Israelis are right and the Palestinians are wrong. Because whenever the Palestinians are mentioned, it's terrorist or it's teenager. Whenever the Israelis are mentioned, it's... And have you noticed, whenever it's on the media, it's always listed as a conflict.
Yeah.
But when it was Russia and Ukraine, it was listed as a war.
Well, Russia and Ukraine was more like a war. It was organized. They followed the war rules.
Yes, they did.
Women and children left.
Yes, they did.
Do you know what I mean? To be fair, I'm not again, with Ukraine, I don't agree with Ukraine joining NATO. I know why Putin don't want Ukraine to join NATO. I understand the same as you understand this conflict.
I
a
understand
little
the
bit
Ukraine one as well.
Yeah. To be fair, I think
I
Putin
know
is
why
right.
Putin
They
did what he
should have
did.
just
So
left
do I.
Ukraine alone.
So do I. Yeah, I agree with you on that.
With the carrot, come and join NATO.
Yeah.
Because all them countries that separate in Europe from Russia, they're independent and
None
neutral.
of them are part of NATO.
None of them for a reason.
Yeah.
Imagine Russia going to Mexico and becoming allies with them and putting all equipment pointing to America.
Yeah. It's
I
not,
mean,
they
they'll
won't
be
let it
there the
happen.
next day.
Yeah.
So exactly the same.
So, but look, it's the same but different.
The same but different. This is a bit more complicated.
This has been going on for a lot longer,
Since
but
I was a kid,
it's been going on.
I've been seeing this on news.
It's been going on for a lot longer than
Yeah.
me and you were kids.
That's what I mean. Since they've been, but I thought there's never been peace since they moved there. Since the Israelis moved there, I thought they never let them cohabit in peace. That's why my beliefs were.
See, look,
That's why they
like
had to have Gaza and Palestine was independent, but under the Israeli control. So they make sure there's no attacks. Do you know what I mean? There's soldiers on the streets of Gaza.
it wasn't free in any way, shape, or form.
There was no.
How can you be free if I'm controlling your food, your water,
Yeah.
your everything?
Yeah.
You're not free. If I'm telling you when you can have water, if I'm telling you when you can have electric, if I'm telling you when you can do this, that, and the other, would you class that as freedom?
To be fair, you're not free if you're under military control from one other state. So
exactly.
That's simply.
So now,
again,
look, yeah.
Solutions.
If you're putting all of these people under those conditions that we just spoke about,
yeah,
are you not expecting a reaction? It's human nature.
Human nature,
You can't put a person on a leash and not expect as at the first chance they get to turn around and bite you.
Yeah.
That's just the way it is. You can't class resistance as terrorism.
They can't drag you on like this because it causes too much.
Look, even this ceasefire that they've just had, this 4-day pause, Qatar went in and tried mediating and having
I've seen that.
extending it.
Yeah.
Palestine agreed.
Yeah.
Who rejected it?
Israel.
Yes.
So they're going to start again?
They've already started again. It's been going on for 2 days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You see, I stopped watching the news.
Just now,
maybe 2 weeks ago.
literally a few hours ago, they've extended where they're attacking. They've told all the civilians to evacuate a city called Khan Yunis, I think it's called. Yeah. That's even more south of Gaza. Is there civilians
leaving or are they staying in there?
Well, this is it. Like I was saying to you off air before, even when the civilians are leaving, they're still shooting them whilst they're leaving.
Is that a fact?
That's a fact. If you want, I can show you pictures. I can show you everything.
I'm going to do some research, obviously.
Are you researching on Google?
No, no, it's not connecting to the internet.
But if obviously you do your research, just beware of what you're researching on.
We're not allowed to post videos and stuff because if we could have done, but
I'll be honest with you.
People can do their own research. We talk about it and then they can check if it's fact.
I wouldn't want you to. Huh? I wouldn't want you to do the research.
Is it that bad? Yeah. That's why I don't watch the news. I've stopped about 3 weeks ago.
Look, even for example, do you remember when all the mainstream media came out and said they beheaded babies? That Hamas beheaded Israeli babies.
Yeah.
Do you remember that?
Yeah.
And even Joe Biden confirmed it. And then when the White House was approached for comment, what did they say? We can't confirm or deny this. So basically, Biden was full of shit.
Let me tell you something.
This is on mainstream media. You can check this.
I have a friend from Israel that phoned when that happened on the few days, and just phoning to see if he's safe and stuff. He's not a very good friend of mine. I just met him at an event and stuff, and he said he's safe. He's in another area.
Yeah.
And he said, right, what happened on that attack there was worse than what they show on the news. It was worse. And this is from someone on land.
Okay.
He said, and then, like I said, I don't know, but that's what he said. He flew out the country.
Yeah.
To some other family members somewhere else until this settles. And like I said, he said, I know it's bad what's happened to them, but this is, do you know what I mean? So I'm confused with
Okay,
what's
so
my
now-
future going to be like. He's been born in there.
Yeah.
His family's born in there. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's not close friends. It's a guy that I met
I get-
at an event.
I get what
And
you
he said,
mean.
I'm confused
Now
what's
let-
going to happen to my sons, my grandchildren and stuff like that, because it doesn't seem to become people to come to an agreement on this and
So,
finish you once and for all.
Now you've got a friend in Israel.
Yeah.
My missus works with a dentist who's Palestinian.
Mm-hmm.
She's here on her own to do her studies to become a dentist.
Mm-hmm.
So at the minute, she's a trainee dentist.
Mm-hmm.
14 of her family members were killed.
14.
14.
While she was on this last strike now.
Yes. So the same time, after the October the 7th,
Mm-hmm.
as soon as they retaliated, then
See,
she wanted to go home
yeah.
just because it might be the last time that she sees her own family. She might not see her own family again.
Same. See.
She couldn't even fly there
Mm-hmm.
because obviously, as you can imagine, they've closed all the airports and everything. She flew to Jordan.
Yeah.
Where she was staying in Jordan,
Uh-huh.
she could see parts of Gaza. I can get you videos if you want.
Uh-huh.
She could visibly see the strikes, the bombs, the this, the that,
Mm-hmm.
and knowing that your family's there. I know
Oh,
what your mate's saying, where
He's not my. He's like
no,
I say,
this
it's a
your
guy that,
your acquaintance then should we
yeah,
call him.
He's not someone that I know.
This guy is
The guy
saying
that-
he's fearful for his children, grandchildren, his family. Understood. Yeah, that's fine.
For everyone, because
But
it's all
let
civilians.
let me put it this way to you, yeah? If I don't have an army, I have 5 people, we all have stones, and we come and attack your house, and then you come back with the tank and attack my house. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah, it's not collateral damage, but like I said, I don't understand exactly what the what they're trying to do. But like I said, now you gave me a bit of a broader vision over the situation,
So
and I enjoy having you on. Like I said, it's good to have a view from both sides. I'm not on any side, but I speak to people. I spoke to this kid that's from Israel, and I spoke to a couple of people.
I think you
that
should get him back on here and put him in front of me.
Yeah, but he like I said, you won't say, "Oh, we right, Israel's right," because he knows. He knows he's not.
So how, if they're
He's
not
not one
right,
of them that's going to come and tell you
no, but if they're not right, how
he's
can
a Christian.
you be?
He's left
How can you be pro-Israel if they're not right? This is my question.
because they know exactly what the situation is, but they know the government is letting. It's like a lot of Americans. They're not happy with whatever America's doing.
No, I agree with what you're saying.
Do you know what I mean?
But in this context, if you're pro-Palestine,
Yeah,
obviously you want Palestine to come out on top.
yeah.
If you're pro-Israel, you want Israel to come out on top. Now, if he's saying the government isn't right or whatever, and you're saying he knows they're not right, how can you be pro-Israel?
I think most of the people that they were big with the head screwed on from Israel, they would like a safe decision where everybody takes a piece. Palestine takes their bit, what they want.
No.
But then where they're gonna go?
What you're
can't just
saying
send the
there is
wipe off Israel. 'Cause they're not-
incorrect.
Huh?
That's no. You just said the big heads from Israel want to say Palestine have your bit, we have our bit,
Yeah.
and happily ever after. That's not the case.
So what's the solution?
The Israelis want to wipe the Palestinians off the
That's
face
the
of
government.
this earth.
That's the government.
Okay, that is the government.
That's the
You're
government,
right.
but not the
anybody,
civilians. A lot of civilians are being brainwashed by the government.
anybody with power in Israel,
Yeah.
Ben Shapiro, you've heard of him, haven't you?
Yeah.
He's-
It's very right, very far right.
Yes, Ben Shapiro. You can search his tweets. You
No,
can
I know
look at
about
what
Ben
he's
Shapiro.
saying.
I follow him. I watch him. I agree with a lot of some points with him, but a lot of it is
all
far
of
right.
these people are all staunch supporters of Netanyahu.
Yeah.
So the main rhetoric that you're seeing online is being put out there by these people.
Right.
Ben Shapiro's got a big view, big
Yeah, it's
platform,
huge,
hasn't
it's
he?
huge, yeah.
So now, if I post something on my Twitter or Facebook or Instagram, and Ben Shapiro posts it, whose is going to get more traction?
Very well spoken as well. He knows how to attack.
You're right, he does. But there's been plenty of cases where people from the pro-Palestinian side have asked him for a debate and he's rejected.
Yeah.
So, in adding on to what we're saying, you know, the IDF have been paying people to go on and spread hate.
About what?
Palestine.
It's
Hamas.
Because a lot of people are with Palestine. A lot of people understand it.
No, they do. But
Yeah.
I know a guy from Egypt. And this is personal. He was offered this job.
Right.
And
To spread hate.
Yes. So the way it worked is you'd get $1 for each post you put up.
Hateful post.
Yeah. So pro-Israeli post. You get $5 for each 100 likes it got. If it reaches 1,000 accounts, you'd get $500. Put it this way, if you were doing it full time, you'd be looking at earning, depending on obviously the reach and the platform that you had, you'd be looking at earning what, 8, 9, 10 grand a month.
Yeah, but that's not that's dirty money. I don't want the.
No, but this is it. This is why I'm saying this is how you know that which is the right side to be on. I know you're saying you're sitting on the fence.
No, I'm not sitting on the fence.
No, I know you're not picking a side, and I know
I'm advocating for peace.
I
don't
understand.
wanna look at it like a football match where I'm cheering for the death of the other side, or I'm cheering for the death of this other side.
I'm not cheering for the death of anyone.
Yeah,
this is it. This is where I think you're getting confused.
Yeah,
I'm not cheering saying kill all the Israelis.
Yeah,
because the Israelis are not wrong. It's not their fault.
The kids that were born there, I ain't got a fucking clue.
Just like the Jews.
Yeah.
Back in World War II.
Yeah.
They hadn't done anything wrong.
So that's why it's
so what I'm saying,
for it to be a fair discussion and fair split of.
That'll never happen though.
So if it never happened, what option did they have left? Yeah, what option did they have left? Let's say you're the Israeli government. What would you do? What would you do in this situation?
The only thing that you can do is two-state solution.
So that's what I mean. That's what I'm trying to say.
That I know, and I'm agreeing with you. Yeah. What I'm also saying though is they've come out and already said they're not doing that.
Yeah,
the Israeli government have come out and openly said they're not doing that.
But that could change if people all over the world are signing petitions and everyone's not happy about it.
Petitions don't mean shit as long as America and Britain are on their side, which will be forever. Do you know back in the days, Joe Biden, this was in about 1980 something. You know what Joe Biden said? I can even send you the video. There's a press conference he does, and he comes to the mic and he says, if there wasn't an Israel in the Middle East, do you know what America would do?
What?
Create one.
When did he say that?
I'll send you the video.
Yeah.
Now, do you know that the US government pay them $3 billion a year?
But there's great world issues. Why they're there? Do you know what I mean? We don't. This is what face value. What we're talking. What we know and is there for us to know. But deep, if you don't know exactly what's behind all this, because it's a bit bizarre how the whole world just sits in and just watches.
No, I'll tell you why the whole world's sitting there. Even all the Arab states and all the Muslim countries. Why? Because who gave Saudi Arabia the power that they've got?
Who?
Britain. Have you not seen the movie Lawrence of Arabia?
No, I'm gonna watch it tonight. Actually.
Do you know about that's who it's about? It's about.
Let me write it down.
It's about Thomas Edward Lawrence. Shall I give you the gist of the movie?
Yeah. What's it called? The movie?
Lawrence of Arabia. Now, this was when the Ottoman Empire was starting to get a proper stronghold in Europe, and obviously the Allies wanted to stop them.
Yeah.
So what did they do? They went to the Arabs, because back in the days, before the Ottoman Empire, one of the main empires in that region was the Arab Empire.
Yeah.
So they went to the Arabs and basically told them to sell the Ottomans out and they'd give them the power. And what happened?
Did they sell them out?
Yeah, standard. How do you think the Ottomans you don't get that big and just topple over overnight. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah, Romania had a few wars with the Ottomans, but we that the only reason we're still Christians is because we fought back with
See,
Albania,
look, this is where I have a
countries.
conflicting interest with it, because I know a lot about the Ottoman Empire as well.
Yeah.
To begin with,
Mm.
it was they'd conquer somewhere, you'd be free to practice whatever religion you wanted to and do whatever you wanted to. But then as society's changed, obviously the people, the leaders have also changed. So yes, maybe they were going in the wrong direction with it all and trying to be more liberal, less liberal and more sort of dictatorial with it. But as a whole...
Where's the film The Ottomans?
I've seen it.
I've seen it with Dracula. If it wasn't for our kings, they would have took over Romania easy. But
see, look,
we've had to carry our own crosses and our own battles with protecting our Christianity. But like I said, this is a completely different story.
it is. So basically, obviously, the Ottomans and the Arabs, after basically in Islam, there's something called the Khalifa.
Yeah, I heard
That's basically the carrier of Islam. So they're like the entity that's responsible for spreading the word. Now, originally, since the time of the Prophet, it was the Arabs. When the Arabs started to decline and the Ottomans were rising, it was then decided that they're not fit to be the flag bearers of Islam anymore. It had to go to the Ottomans. Ever since then, there was this kind of, I wouldn't say hatred, let's say dislike. They didn't like them just because the Ottomans took away what the Arabs had. That at one point, it was literally the only thing that they had. But obviously, that got taken away from them. So there was this sort of jealousy, should we call it.
Yeah.
So obviously, when the Ottomans got as big as they did, it was then a case of the Allies, obviously, like they did with my parents' home country, Pakistan, which was originally India, colonized it, split it, and even now there's conflicts going on all over there. But that's again another story.
Another story with religion, with regards to religion. Like I said, everybody's fighting of which one's the right religion, but
no one's
following the message.
That's you're right. Yeah, you're right there. But in the regard of the whole Lawrence of Arabia thing, it was basically the British sent Thomas Edward Lawrence to Arabia, and his main goal was to sow discord among the Arabs and turn them against the Ottomans, to which he did successfully. In the battle, the Arabs were supposed to be siding the Ottomans,
Right.
and that's where they sold them out, and that's what ultimately led to
the collapse of the Ottoman Empire. And now the Saudi Arabia, they're the strongest
in that region,
in the Arab world. Yeah.
Yes,
But they're good for business. They're smart with business as well. They do smart.
they can be as smart as they want, but look, you know, in Saudi Arabia, there's a place where there's a massive Quran that's printed. It's sort of on like a bridge, and it's on the way to Makkah, Medina.
Yeah.
Now, typically, if you were a non-believer, you weren't allowed
To enter.
to enter.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the way it's always been.
Yeah.
Nicki Minaj was there recently.
What, Medina?
Nicki Minaj
Was it Medina?
went past that point where she shouldn't have been. There was never any concerts, anything there. Now, Nicki Minaj toured the full country last time. Yeah. She didn't do a concert in Makkah or Medina, but
she entered Mecca and Medina.
She didn't even enter the places. She passed that point.
So
Which is-
you're not allowed to pass that point at all.
If you're a non-believer,
Right. Non-believer in
Islam.
In Islam.
yeah.
But
So
if
basically,
you believe in God, you can't pass.
if you don't follow Islam,
Yeah.
it used to be if you don't follow Islam, you can't pass
Right.
this point. But now they've just.
Did that cause a lot of issues in the Muslim world? And
I'll be
people,
honest with you.
got upset about it.
Yeah, because I'll
it's
be
like a
honest with you, these
yeah.
Arabs right now are fucked.
Yeah.
Can I swear on you?
Yeah, you can. Yeah, if you want to.
They are
Yeah.
completely. Look what's going on with their brothers and sisters in Palestine,
Yeah.
and they're paying Neymar £350 million a year,
Yeah.
giving him a mansion, giving him cars, giving him this, that, and the other.
That's
Any
we will
money-
not- there's interest everywhere. We would never understand the interest and stuff. Like I said, we need to understand what's possible to do to
No,
stop
but
the
look,
bloodshed.
there's never gonna be. Look, back in the days before there was this whole, this big American involvement in Saudi Arabia. Do you know what happened? This Israel-Palestine conflict happened then as well.
Yeah.
Do you know what the King of Saudi Arabia did?
What?
Cut the oil off. Stopped them from buying oil. Stopped oil from being sent there. Do you know how quickly it got resolved? Within the same week.
Yeah. It's
Now,
Yeah.
the guy in charge of sending all the oil, a government official, I can't remember exactly his name or title, he's come out and openly said, we're not gonna stop selling them oil. Let me take it one step further for you. You know Yemen, you've seen what Yemen have been doing, haven't you? They've been seizing any of the Israeli ships that pass through their part of the river.
Yeah.
So now that's forcing the Israeli ships to go around Africa and come in that way,
Yeah.
as opposed to going
Yeah.
past Yemen. They asked the Saudis to let them use their airspace so they can attack Israel. They denied that request.
The Saudis.
The Saudis denied it. But guess who uses Saudi's airspace?
Who?
Israel. To attack the Palestinians.
Ah.
Now do you realize how fucked these lot
There's
are?
interests there that we might never understand. That's what I'm trying to say.
At the end of the day, money
upsetting
talks.
It's business there. Saudi's
Money
business.
talks.
They're responsible with business. They're
And
not just one.
Why are they responsible with business? Because of America.
Like I said, I'm not going to go too in depth with them things because I won't understand.
You don't need to go in depth. That's it. It's fact.
It's yeah.
The West has put Saudi where it wanted to be. Typically Arabs think of themselves as better than everyone.
Which Arabs?
Let's say the middle, Saudi,
There's a
Dubai,
lot of Arabs. Do you know what I mean?
Saudi Arabia, Dubai, Abu Dhabi, these kind of.
It's just an illusion. Everyone's the same, really.
No, but this is it. Have you ever been anywhere in the Middle East?
No.
Right. So if you go there, with you they won't, because your skin's white. If I go there, they'll treat me as less than.
Yeah.
Do you know why?
Why?
Because people from Pakistan, India, Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, all these kinds of places,
Right.
in Dubai, they're the workers.
Yeah, but if you go there, and you've got the Lambo and you've got the dough. Do you know what I mean? You'll be all right. I don't.
You can have whatever.
Yeah.
When I went there, I had a Lambo.
Yeah.
I went last year.
Yeah.
I had a Lambo.
Yeah. So.
But still,
did you
if
feel that they treat
you can tell.
inferior?
If they see you, they'll look at you like you shit on the shoe.
Yeah, I don't notice things like this because I don't even look at things like this for me to
You
notice.
normally I don't, but when you're in someone else, it's like, for example, if I took
You come to my barbecue
if
when
I took
people don't
if
like
I
you.
took you to Pakistan,
Yeah.
or if you took me to Romania,
Yeah. You'll be all right in Romania.
you'd feel different. You get what I mean,
Yeah,
though,
yeah.
innit? You're in a different culture, society.
yeah.
You're more kind of alert. You're more
Alert, yeah, you notice more. Yeah.
So it was that kind of thing.
Uh-huh.
And then when you see the way, if you're in the queue for somewhere and the main guy, the manager or whatever, you see him, the way he treats the white guy in front of you and the way he treats you is different.
Right. I don't know.
That's the reason
if
why.
you felt like I can't deny your
I don't give a
feelings,
fuck about it, to be honest with you. But
yeah.
in them countries, Pakistan, India, they see all these as less than.
Well, how would they see me in Pakistan?
They'd love you in Pakistan.
Would I be all right?
You'd be loving it.
I think
You know, with Pakistan, they're the more
I'm gonna start
statistically
when I'm getting a bit older.
one of the-
I've got time to.
they're one of the most hospitable countries.
No, I've got a few friends from Pakistan, and then I think it's pretty cool. Do you know what I mean? The way you go to family's house, they catch a chicken there and then, cook it. You know, similar to like my mate, Ace. Shout out Ace. Do you know when he showed me that video? He showed me a video. He gone to Pakistan, and then one of his relatives start chasing this chicken around garden. Chicken would run in through the benches and stuff, jumping after.
I remember the first time I went. First time I went in the meat shop to get some chicken.
On your own? This guy had a gunman with him, protecting him all the time.
So I go to him, give me 2 kg of chicken. So he's turned around and he's pulled this cover off a cage. And he had chickens in this cage.
Yeah.
So he's put a 2 kg weight on one side and he's pulled the chicken out and put it on the other side. When it's balanced, he's grabbed the chicken, chopped his head off, took his feathers off, put it in a bag. Yeah, there and then, and said, here you go, take your chicken.
Fresh.
That's
Don't
it.
need to keep
fresh.
it in the freezer then, waste electricity.
Well,
like I said, 3 minutes. We got 3 minutes left. Bro, I think you're an amazing person. You opened my mind a lot onto
Closing
this.
point, what I'd say.
Closing point. Go on.
What I'd say on a closing point is just don't take what you see on the mainstream media and believe it.
That's why I don't take didn't take sides, and I wanted to speak to someone that like I said, someone that's from there. Do you know what I mean? Do you know what I mean? I want to hear it from the people that actually me watching the news and taking a side when I'm not really educated on it. It'd be an hypocritical move for me. It's not my country that's being attacked.
Naive.
I don't know what's going on exactly. I've seen this in the news since I was a kid about Gaza.
Yeah.
This conflict has been going, war or conflict, however. Me going all of a sudden waving a scarf with Palestine or with Israel, it'd be a bit hypocritical. I don't understand. All I understand is human instinct, and when I see children dying, I feel the need to represent and say, stop advocate for ceasefire for the children to evacuate or the women, like they did in Ukraine.
Yeah.
I think the way Putin did the Ukraine, I know it's bad, still not fair, but they made convoys, women left, children left, they're going to Romania, they're going to Poland, do you know what I mean? And then the men are sat there having it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And I understand that this is what I picture war to be correctly going.
It is, but
in here it's a completely different story. So I don't.
Look, if one side's playing dirty, and then if the other side plays dirty,
then
you can't start screaming terrorist.
Yeah.
So the last thing I'll say before you stop,
go on,
is you can't class resistance as terrorism.
I like I said, I'm pro. No.
You're a pacifist in this.
Yeah, peace. Yeah. I scream for peace, and I don't want to see innocent people that don't know. Some of the kids don't even know the history exactly from Israel.
Yeah, and they do. But again, it's like
they've been brainwashed by
their
own
that's
government.
It's like North Korea, where they think Kim Jong-un won all the Olympics and everything.
Some of them know, and they just know, bro. I know, but I'm here now. I was raised here.
Yeah.
Where do I go to give Palestine the land back? So again, it's up to the governments now to come together and save the people.
The Palestinians have already tried, and the Israelis have rejected. So I don't know where we're going to go from here.
I don't know. We'll have to sit back and watch now. And then, like I said, good people need to stand with the innocent people and push for the governments to protect innocent lives and come to agreements where they can spare innocent lives rather than carry on.
I agree.
Because the more you bomb or attack a country, like any country, and you kill peoples and family members, the more hate you're gonna create.
Yeah.
And then even if they come to a peace agreement in future, they're gonna have to send an army of therapists in there to fix the hatred that's in people's hearts. Even do you know what I mean? Because it's not gonna be peace otherwise. So I think it's up to the governments really it's not up to us civilian normal people to decide, because we don't know behind closed pieces of paper what's deeply reasons and what is possible for them to do, what is not. Do you know what I mean? We want that, but we don't know exactly the hidden whatever the internet gives us. But again, the ChatGPT don't give you the first ever page of the Bible. How creepy is that? Go and ask ChatGPT. He gives you everything in the world, but don't give you the first page of the Bible.
That's it.
Do you know what I mean?
The internet censored.
1 minute left. Like I said, thank you very much. I've learned a lot today from you. Usually I talk back and forth and I debate, but with you there was not much to debate, because like I said,
what you were talking about.
It's not that I don't know.
No, you don't know the facts.
I don't know the facts, and I had you here to enlighten me about it. The same as some viewers that don't know.
Yeah.
To learn. It's an educational podcast, and it's been educational for me. And I've learned a few things of you. I'm going to research and fact check a few things.
Yeah, no problem.
You know, and after, I'm sure you've gone down the rabbit hole with it. Because you see, obviously, me and him have been having conversations about this before the cameras went on, and he's just firm about what he says. And like I said, do you know what I'd like? I'd like to if I can get a Jewish or someone from it to interview him to see their view on the things.
See, shall I tell you something? If you got somebody who's an Orthodox Jew on here, they would agree with what I'm saying.
Orthodox Jews, I'm an Orthodox Christian. So
Orthodox Jews,
that the Jews that there was originally.
They're the Jews that follow the Torah.
The Torah,
the
correct.
Traditional Jews.
Yeah. Traditional Jews.
Zionists are not traditional Jews.
Yeah, Zionists are...
Zionism was founded by Theodor Herzl, the guy I mentioned at the beginning. Research him, he's an Austrian guy. He founded Zionism.
Yeah, he's like the Church of England being founded by the king. Do you know what I mean? He's not real. Do you know what I mean? Right. Thank you very much.
No problem.
I appreciate your time today. I can't wait to watch this back. And then, like I said, I think now for people that said, oh, you're scared to talk about this, or you don't want to bring anyone onto this. Is it still going, the cameras? Yeah. For people who said, I'm scared, look, I've brought a guy so he can explain to me. So like this, I don't have to debate with everyone about things. And like I said, I don't want to carry on going back and forth. All I understand is that there needs to be a solution for the civilians, really. Do you agree with that?
Yes.
Two-state solution, and the governments is in the hands of the governments to decide that. So that is the solution, yeah? And an army of therapists to help people to learn how to live neighboring to each other. Because I couldn't live neighboring to someone that after all this 60 years, whatever, of conflict. Do you know what I mean? So it's a long way. But I'm going to avoid these topics now because I want to talk about things that I can control as well. I want to help people that is in my hands as well.
Yeah.
I mean, this one I mentioned is just so I can show my support.
So which side are you supporting?
No, I'm supporting innocent people. I just said it. I mean, but I'm listening to opinions and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, he can't support because you agree that there's not going to be peace. So he can't. They have two-state solutions. I support that. They have to do that. If they do that, then I'm happy. Yeah. So free Palestine in the sense of two-state solution.
Free Palestine in every sense, not just the two-state solution.
No, because then what are you going to do with
in
the other
every
people?
sense?
What, that's what I mean. What we're going to do with the Israelis if we free Palestine in ourselves?
Look.
What we're going to do with them? That's what, because they're people that was born there.
The way Britain made the Balfour Declaration,
they can make a new one.
They can make a new one.
Right, that's a good point.
Yeah.
Right. Perfect. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
No problem.